Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cooper of Cooper's Mobile Mechanics, and today I've got a full transit wet belt to do. So this episode I'm going to be showing you just one complete job, start to finish. If you've watched my channel before, then you'll know that sometimes I'll do that, or sometimes I'll show you a few jobs scattered out throughout the week. Sometimes I'll show you a whole day, sort of various different things. But yeah, today is just going to be the wet belt on the transit. And if that sounds like the sort of thing that you're interested in watching, please hit the subscribe button for more content like it. And before doing the job, I always like to run a fault memory, check, just see what's in there. So on this one, we've got low fuel pressure fault and engine oil deteriorated fault. So the oil change light is on. It said it came the other day. So luckily we're going to be doing oil and filter anyway as part of the job. So then when I've done the job, I'll run the fault memory again, and I'll see obviously if there's any new faults there that weren't there before. I know that it's something that I've done, maybe left something disconnected or anything like that. So I always find it's better to do that rather than just go straight in, do the job, then do a fault memory check after, because if there's faults in there stored after you've done the job and you don't know if they were there before, it can cause a lot of panic. You might go over the whole job again, just double checking everything, when in actual fact the fault may have just been there before. So I always find it better just to double check first before doing the job. So the first thing I'll be doing is draining the oil. So obviously you're going to be taking the sump off. So I'm going to drain the oil, put a new oil filter on it. While that's draining, I'll go up top, start stripping everything down, and then I'm going to come down, get the sump off, have a look at the strainer, change that over, get the new sump on, and then crack on with the belt after. I've got my new oil filter put in, genuine filter, and then in total I've also got, these are all genuine parts, timing belt kit, got the oil pump belt, auxiliary belt, water pump belt, a couple of new bolts for the crankshaft and the idler pulley, new sump, new timing cover, sealant, all ready to go on. Now I want to get everything out on top, so I want to get the headlight out. It's not looking too clever. That was already broken, that wasn't me by the way. Get this out of the way, power steering, bottle out of the way, and then sort of engine mounts, a couple of other bits of pipe work to get off as well. Headlight is just T30 here and T30 there. Take the connector off, pull it out. And then I'm going to take off this 8mm bolt here, and then another bolt in there. Get to the clips on this pipe, get this pipe out of the way, get this out of the way. A couple of 8mm bolts there, again, shove that out of the way, and you can get the engine mount off. Now I want to take the water pump belt off. I can just cut that because I'm going to be replacing it. Auxiliary belt off, get the power steering pump out of the way, get the auxiliary belt tension out of the way, take the engine mount off up there, and then I'll attack the sump, I think. So I'll just put the drain plug back in, just stop it from dripping everywhere. Got my new filter on, so now I've just got all these 8mm bolts all around here to get off, and then get the sump off. The sump off, just have a look in here, just see if I can see any bits of belt or anything. It's pretty clean in there. Now for the bit that everyone wants to see, look inside the strainer, and it's clean. I don't think there's anything in there, to be fair. We'll be taking it off and swapping it over anyway, but car's done just coming up to 70,000 miles now. He's been changing the oil regularly, to be fair to him. Yeah, it's all looking nice and clean. Before taking off the starter motor, I'm just going to make sure there's no voltage going to it. So that's a wire goes down to the starter. I'm just going to take this nut off, take the terminal off, and I'll probably just put a rag there just to make sure it doesn't touch the positive. Well, the starter motor's out and the flywheel's locked up. So I'm just going to get this big bolt out, which is very tight. Once that's out, get my tool, get the crankshaft pulley off, and then I can get the timing cover off, which is going to be a battle getting off as well. So I've just got the puller and the crankshaft pulley. So it's basically just two bolts up there and there, go into the crankshaft pulley itself, and then as I wind this in, I'll push on the crankshaft. and pulled the pulley off. I've taken off the aircon compressor, just got that out of the way. Now I've got the power steering pump. Again, I just want to get that out of the way, leaving everything connected. Just taking the bolts out. I think there's one 10 or 13 millimeter there, and then there's two more at the top, just so you've got enough room to get this cover off. So now I've got the little bolts on the timing cover. Most of them 8 millimeters, but there are a couple. That one, I think that's a 21 or 22, need to get out. And then down here, I think there's a couple of 10 millimeters. So obviously you just got to make sure you put the right bolts in the right holes when you're building it back together. And that is the reason why we changed the timing cover. You got absolutely zero chance of getting that off without it bending. Same as a sump as well, that just bends coming off, so always put a new sump and cover on. Now they've got the cover off, I'm going to take the flywheel locking tool back out again, put the crankshaft bolt in, turn it over by hand so that it's all timed up. Now I can put my pins in to lock it, get the oil pump belt off, undo the tensioner and get the belt off. And then I have got a new bolt for this idler gear here. Some people change them, some people don't change them. I've been told to change it because they are prone to snapping. No one really knows the reason why they snap. Some people say it's from people using an impact gun to get the crankshaft bolt off. Some people say that they snap because they need to be changed. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to change it over anyway. So finally, after turning the engine over about 10 times, got it timed up. Got the pins in the camshaft sprockets. And I've got the two pink marks there and there, they're both lined up. So now that's slotted in there, I can get the crankshaft locking tool, which basically goes around here, will bolt up there, and then once that's all locked in, I can get the old belt off. Right, so now I'll just turn the tension over with the 8mm Allen key, locks it in place, just taking all the slack off the belt, and I can get the belt off and swap it over. Right, so this is the belt. And to be honest with you, it's not that bad. I pulled off a couple of little bits that were sort of fraying off, starting to crack slightly, but yeah, like I say, it's done just coming up to 70,000 miles, and the owner, he's been on top of changing it on the filter quite regularly on it. Obviously people are aware that these are a problem, so I think people are starting to look after their vans a little bit more. So yeah, not bad at all, pretty straightforward swap over. That's the new belting, and I've cleaned up as best as I can where the timing cover is going to go. So I'm just going to turn the engine over, make sure it's all timed up again. I think I'm going to turn it over 14 times or something to get them to line up again. That idler bolt there, I've replaced that and torqued it up. The torque setting for that's crazy. It's like you have to do it in about 5 different stages. It'll go 60 newton meters, then undo it 90 degrees. Then you go further 20, then a further 30 newton meters, then you go another 60 degrees after that. So yeah, that's all done. Yeah, just turn it over, make sure it's all timed up. Now I can get this back on, sort out the sump, get that all cleaned up, and get the new sump on. Right, so new strainers in. Just cleaning up the sump now. Got a couple of little more bits to get off, and then we can get the sump on. Right, timing cover's on, sump's on, crank pulley's on and torque's up. So now I've just got to get the aircon condenser on, power steering pump on, get the starter motor back on, and then go up top and stick all the engine mount and everything back on. Right, so the next day I'm back now to fill up the oil, coolant, everything like that, run it up, make sure there's no leaks. We're supposed to be coming first thing this morning to do it, but it's now, what, 4 o'clock, and I'm only just getting here now. And the reason for that is partly my fault, but when I was putting it all back together yesterday, this additional coolant pump here, as I was getting it into the bracket, I managed to break it. So it's kind of leaning on here and the top snapped off. So I had to get a new one ordered quickly yesterday. I was told I was going to be here first thing in the morning, but I went there to go and get it and it's not there. So I went from being, yeah, I'll be here first thing in the morning to, yeah, it's going to be here sometime today. No time given, just sometime today. So I've been waiting around all day for that coolant pump to come. but I finally got it now. So I've got it all fitted, got everything back together. So yeah, I just need to run it up and make sure there's no leaks really. Right then, moment of truth. Does it start? Yeah. So I'll leave that running now. Leave it running for a while. Check for any oil leaks. Obviously make sure it's not leaking. Just make sure the coolant is bled through, and then I'll be checking the fault memory again as well, just making sure that's okay. So that's a good sign. No fault stored in the engine. Now the oil deterioration fault, that's gone. I've reset the oil light, and then the other one I think was a low fuel pressure or something. You quite often get that if it just, for some reason, you just take a little while to start the engine. So sometimes it just logs a little fault there, but nothing else has come back. So I'm happy with that. Under here, it's been checking for leaks. So I've had it running for quite a while now, and it's all looking nice and dry, which is great news. A little bit of antifreeze. Just been having a bit of a clean up operation, just from changing over that additional water pump. But yeah, no oil leaks. I'm happy with that. Engine's running nicely. There's no faults. Yeah, job done. And that's the job done. Just got back home now. Took longer than it should have done, purely because, well, breaking that water pump, which was my fault, but then just how long it took for the part to actually get here. Like I say, I should have got back this morning to fill it all up with oil and everything, but I was just waiting around all day. But it is what it is. It's all running up. There's no leaks or anything, so I'm happy it's all done. Obviously, the part that broke, that was my fault, so not charging the customer for that. It's not up to him to pay for, is it? That's sort of just down to me, really. So it is what it is. So, you know, those things happen. Things do break while you're working sometimes, and as long as you deal with it in the right way, then it's not really an issue, is it, to be honest? But that's the end of the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you found something interesting. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it around with your friends and family as well. Show them some of my older videos. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.